Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with April. This time, we're going to talk about the April coffee capsule range. Just want to give you an introduction to how we're brewing it, really focusing on recipe and just method, right? So the key thing here is that they work with any of the standard Nespresso range machines. There's a few other brands of machines that would work as well, but I recommend using their machines. Here I have the mini Nespresso machine, which we're working with, a personal favorite of mine, works really well. The capsules that we have done are created to brew on a shorter program. So whenever you have an espresso machine, you can choose between a short and a long program. On the new ones, you also have the opportunity of regulating exact volume, a bit more specific. We're gonna do that by actually using a scale, which you can see underneath the machine here. Simply turning off when we have enough volume. But that being said, if you want the absolute easiest version of this capsule, it's really just about brew the short program and it's gonna come out tasting great because that's what we're created them for. The longer program is not necessarily bad, but it doesn't create quite the quality that we are looking for. So we're staying with the short ones. A few kind of interesting, very easy details. Water for coffee brewing, something that we know is very important. Some countries around the world doesn't have a natural water from the tap at your homes that are good enough, or your offices, that are good enough to actually brew coffee with a good quality. So then I recommend using some kind of bottled water or another water that we know is more suitable for coffee. A second thing is, which we come back to again and again, whether it's espresso machine or capsule machine, you need to keep them clean, right? So one of the key things here is that we actually need to clean our machine relatively regularly to be able to have really tasty coffee coming out. Apart from that, it's a very simple procedure. What we do in terms of brewing, and here I have our Kenyan coffee, which is from the process station Karagoto, one of our favorite coffees from Kenya. It's very floral, tons of blackcurrant, very intense in the flavor. We always brew them short with a recommended length of 20 to 25 grams if you want to be really precise about this. So again, what we do is that we simply just work with the scale underneath, which is really just helping us keeping track of how much volume is actually coming out, which is very, very helpful. So what we do is that we turn off around 18 grams and then we know we're gonna hit our ballpark. So that is leaving us with a slightly faster extraction, but it's actually generating a very, very tasty, more flavor intense and cleaner capsule coffee, right? And this is true for almost all capsule coffees, but specifically for us, that's what we found is gonna be the tastiest range of them. Another very important thing is that before we drink them, we always wanna stir the espresso properly because it will layer pretty significantly when it's brewed. So if you want to have a really good taste experience, you definitely want to take a spoon and you want to blend it as much as you can. After that, it's just ready to drink. So it's just a short introduction of our capsules and how we're brewing them. We do have two different capsules today. We have a Salvadorian wash process bourbon. We have a Kenyan coffee, wash process SL28, SL34. They're both very different in character, which is part of what we want to do here. We want to really showcase the difference in diversity with the coffees that we work with. All of them are available on our website. You find all of the links down here. And as I've argued many times, there's a lot of controversial thoughts and ideas about capsule coffee and where that's heading and whether specialty coffee is a part of that. I would say step one is to taste it. Taste it and then we have a discussion about it because it's a truly consistent, really interesting product to work with, and April is only in the beginning of our stage in terms of making this tasting a lot better. We have a lot of new ideas both for taste quality and also for material quality coming up. So stay tuned if you're interested, and if you haven't tried them, click on to our website and make sure you do. Thank you for tuning in.